And we're going.
All right. So, who's got recaps from last time?
I do. I also have
Shit,
a
yes.
cough. So last time we fell through a tree into Threshold. Things are on fire. Shit's fucked. Nightingales all around, and also, oh god, that's a big dead dragon.
Yep.
Um,
Undead dragon.
Yep. Big dead dragon still flying. Apparently the Nightingale groups are smaller than the ones we were running into in the forest. But we immediately go, well, gotta get to the middle, make sure they're not near the portal. Oh, hey, look, it's Good! And he doesn't have a bowl cut.
Yeah, they're actually pretty good.
So we have some back and forth with that. Alsana hucks a sunburst at the dragon and Good, who were currently cornering Rodiana and the dragon, tiny dragon. I forget the tiny dragon's name. Alistair sent Alsana a sending spell, basically being like, "Hey, can you guys get over here?" And it's just like fighting the dragon.
Which, understandable.
Good was knocking us off roofs. The dragon was paralyzing breath. And then Lily, Dren, and someone else shows up. We'll go to. Take the dragon down, take Good down. And with initiative done and the place going quiet, we help clean up, and make sure everyone's okay. Lily's helping with Alsana for healing. Alsana checks the library. Finds Alistair there, though things are disheveled. Try for dinosaur, nothing. Also just in general information from, apparently they're called the Resistance? They're anti-Nightingale.
The Daybreak.
Daybreak Resistance.
Yes.
They're very anti-Nightingale. And they are basically here to offer aid and stuff, and they're just like, yeah, we're against the Nightingales, and we go, cool, we've killed 2 of them, and they go, huh?
You did what now?
You guys
Kane
have done that very quickly.
Kane gives
News
Dren
might not be spread.
Kane gives Dren a halberd. But Kane gets dibs on the first kill if all things are even. On the Nightingale, that is. Also, Kane sends a request that maybe some support to Deep Thicket. And then while Alsana's in the library, the Daybreaker we don't know walks in. Sigwald. Apparently the old Sigwald lets us know the old king in Ambarion is back, as of yesterday, or the day before. Not undead, same as the queen. Seems we didn't delay it as much as we'd like to have. Or maybe we did, who knows. And then Alsana, realizing she hasn't actually heard the name, goes, what was your name again? Goes, oh, Sigwald. Sigwald Kirkland.
Because, of course.
That fucking whore.
Yep.
And that is where we pick up with a young mage. Well, not very young.
Sorry.
Holding out a hand to you to shake, with a small smile on his face, as he has just introduced himself to a complete stranger.
Yep, and just nods and is like, Kirkland. Just
Oh, you
slowly puts a hand.
take it you know the name? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Apparently, he was a traveling bard, so.
Sure, he sounded familiar.
I think it's just Alsana here right now.
Oh, yeah, this is not a character. Was?
Yeah.
He's like, I thought he was still performing.
Oh, probably. It's not like I've tracked him down or anything. I just know what my mom told
Yeah,
me.
so would do that.
And I'm sorry if this gets personal, but I'll explain in a moment. Your mother is...
Oh, her name is Penelope. She, yeah, her family doesn't really have a family name, so she gave me his, just, I guess, because it was special. I don't know.
Right, and could I ask her whereabouts as of right now?
Um, it's kind of a weird question. Is there something wrong, or?
I am privy to information that, well, frankly, you deserve to know. I'd ask you don't go spreading this around as much, though. Not as of right now. You are, or rather, your father is also the father of two nightingales.
There's a blank looking. Wait, what?
The one we just killed out in the courtyard was
Oh.
by blood your half-brother. The
Oh,
woman,
frick.
and the woman in dark robes is another.
You're kidding, right? You gotta be kidding. That's a stupid coincidence.
Shakes her head. You're telling me.
All right. Assuming that's true, I gotta go talk to. I gotta go talk to somebody else.
Please, just what do you intend on doing?
Like
I said, you deserve to know that, but it's still something to not be spouting around.
I'm not gonna spout it around, but there's somebody else in similar shoes. Let's just say.
Could I ask their name?
Not really. It's not really mine to tell.
Not. I've been doing my best to track down the path that man has left.
Do you think there's more of them on that side?
Children or nightingales?
Both.
The former, absolutely. The latter, again, might just be circumstance, but the other two are not. If that's what you mean. The two ones on top.
Okay. Yeah, that's a hell of a lot. Seriously, I gotta go talk to somebody. Thanks, I guess. Good luck with the books and the sorting in the library, and I'll.
If you need any help with any of that, just let me know, okay?
I'm gonna go and see about that. If you need help in here, I'll see if I can find maybe Myra or something.
I know your situation.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Great.
No, I'm in those shoes too.
Really? One of them is. Do you like share a mom with one of them, or
No.
are we like?
Father.
No kidding. Well, damn.
You think it not odd someone would go searching for that kind of information?
I mean, I knew he traveled around, but is there a lot of us? Does that mean that you and I are like?
I suppose that's up to you, really. I personally want to give helping care to those if I can. because I know that man left a lot in less than favorable circumstances. I mean, think about it. If those two ended up where they were,
Yeah.
there was some failing.
Uh-huh. Well, I don't know. Like to think my mom did pretty good.
Nuts.
But yeah, still gotta. I'll see you around. He raps on the doorframe a couple times and turns around and heads out. Kane, at some point, as you're talking with Dren in the courtyard, Sigwald comes up and just interrupts and, sorry, can I borrow Dren here for a second? Something just came up. Dren looks concerned. Of course, sorry. I'll catch up with you later.
Yeah, sure.
I'll see if I can send some more help around if we have any more information.
Let me know if the halberd doesn't suit you.
I think we'll get along fine. Thanks.
Hopefully.
You see the two of them draw off to the side of the courtyard and start speaking in somewhat hushed tones.
On that note, honestly, Alsana's gonna go find Kane.
Okay. So, Asana,
He's-
after maybe delaying in the library for just a little bit,
Mhm.
you find Kane in the same courtyard, and you actually see Sigwald still talking with Dren over on the side.
She looks and just, no. Kane, Ord.
Sure. You healing up okay? Everything alright? Look, I thought about the library thing. I thought there was still
It's
a
fine.
fire.
It's not that. It's.
Oh.
You know. I don't intend to drag you into this any further if you wouldn't like to. But you know I have a very keen interest on our and she kind of like glances over there and then looks back. Our father's mess he's made.
Oh, that was horrendous phrasing, but yes.
I just let slip that I am technically a daughter of Roy Kirkland. I would ask that you not confirm that you are. We don't need that line being drawn.
Yeah, I wasn't planning to. Why the fuck would you say that on this side?
Because Sigwald there is as well.
So?
If
Why do
that
you have
one
to kill
is,
two-
then
you have
ours
to kill
is.
two of his siblings. You have
Say-
to kill two of his siblings. Doesn't need to know how many he has. It'll save him the pain.
He deserves to know.
Those two, yes. We're separate, as you've reminded me frequently, but what's done is done. So, yeah, no problem.
And that one just. I needed him to trust me.
We just killed a nightingale. I think you're good.
With
Um,
that information, it's different. It's more personal. I can tell. But if I was one who was in similar shoes, there could be something there. And frankly, I would want to. If that is something they would want to do, help them find their.
Look, Alsana, I don't mean to say this as a chance to preach, because, like I said, what's done is done. I'm not going to criticize you for what you've already done, but for future's sake, there's this wonderful skill I was taught once called compartmentalizing, where you don't put all of your heart into every single person you meet and everything you see. And while I recognize that it's what makes you so motivated to do everything every day, there are times when, for everyone's safety, yourself included, it's best to just take a step back. Retreat is always a better option than walking into a trap you know is there. Especially one of your own creation. Like I said, what's done is done. Just can't fix every problem. Not on this side. You keep reminding me of that. Take the lesson to heart. And if you want, take a piece out of my book. Give them an extra strong weapon so that if there's something does happen, they can make sure they survive better and they can learn more effectively. So he kind of gestures towards Drin.
Can
Dren, he seems to be wrapping up with Sigwald. He claps him on the shoulder a couple times and then turns and starts to head towards the two of you.
she looks over. It's like, just as I said.
I don't want anything stepping into this mess. Don't worry.
I intend to, though. So thank you.
I know. Just step only where necessary.
Nuts. Looks back. Up to Sigwald and takes a step away from Kane.
Oh, sorry. Was it Dren or Sigwald? Was going
It's
this way?
Dren coming over.
Oh, Dren is
Sigwald
coming.
is heading a different way. Yes.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's all right.
Dren just nods and. Hey, everything all good?
Just wanted to have a quick word with this one. I'm sorry, I've never caught your names.
It's best that way. For general's safe to be try to keep in pairs, but if she wants me to step away, I can. Oh shit! We need to be near the lantern. Hold on. Fuck.
Go get the others.
Yeah. Dren, you got like 5 minutes with her. Hold on, and he runs off to go get called
Funny.
Oris.
I'll try to make this fairly brief, but Sigwald informs me that you have something of a unique connection to certain individuals, certain events.
Walks to the side. It's like,
I
yeah,
think
let's
they-
find a spot.
Heads
And
over.
for the record, you can call me Morticia.
Morticia.
Motherfucker.
Well, this is a little bit of an awkward question. More statement. I don't bring it up much, but I've got a similar connection to one of them. The one you just took down.
Mhm.
Half brother, same mom. Can't say I was overly close to him or really all that fond of him, but family, you know.
Mhm.
I don't think he should have gone free and kept doing what he was doing or anything like that. I'm not asking for him to be brought back or anything. I just want to ask that at some point we can give him at least a burial. He's not going to just stay in that sack and
She's like, go ahead.
indefinitely.
I'm one of proper burials. That is precautionary
Just gives a
until
nod.
all this is sorted.
Right. Okay. That's all I had to ask.
And for the record, just to let you know, I personally placed a dusk bell within his mouth.
Huh.
He will not be returning.
Good. Well, that's it's taken a bit off my mind. I was wondering how I was gonna approach any of you with that request without, I don't know, coming off as really weird.
I get the feeling. It's an odd thing. I can't say I knew them personally. But
Yeah, well, having known one of them personally, I'd say you probably haven't missed out on much.
no, it's I'm sorry that it led to this.
Well. Honestly, the only person who should be sorry about it is dead in that bag. But yeah, I think I get what you mean.
Sorry,
Sometimes wonder if maybe if you'd done something different or
feel bad that you can't know everything, every outcome.
Bit of that. Try not to think about it too much.
Nods.
Oh, hey, look, he found your other friends pretty quick. So what's about that lantern that's so important?
I imagine by now Kane kind of rushes up with everyone kind of in tow.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
It does some fun stuff.
Yep.
It's a very, very nice lantern.
It ensures some safety against peering eyes.
Well, it lets us know it's happening at least.
Well, it's definitely bright.
It is. It really helps see. Also, nice to meet you. My name is Cora.
Cora. Good to meet you. I'm Dren.
Guys, for simplicity's sake, let's save names.
Like, just like looks to Kane and just, even with like a low end, it's just like the thing of under the face. She's like, fuck.
It's
No,
fine.
it's fine. You guys do your masked vigilante thing. Honestly, we sometimes use code names for our guys out in the field anyway, so I get it.
It's just something this way.
You can call him the other one, and points to Kane.
I haven't called worse.
Alright, worse then.
Yeah, sure, honestly.
I like it.
Can we at
Like
least
the
turn it to
sausage.
Yeah, can we at least turn to the Orcish word for that?
Like the sausage.
Yeah.
So, worse?
Worst. Yes, W-U-R-S-T.
Worse. Sure.
Got a question for you, by the way, Dren. You're of the tribes, I assume?
I used to be.
Any connection or exiled?
Left. So,
Honorably, though, or?
I mean, I wasn't kicked out. But I still left, so I wouldn't count on warm welcome back, necessarily. Unless it came with some kind of insane conquest or proof of skill or whatever.
Alright. Well, I might grill you for information at some point on them. I think they could have been a good ally to Deep Thick, and I just didn't have time to work on that.
Oh, probably not. You don't go to them to ask them to selflessly help other people outside the tribes.
Yeah, but you tell them to go pillage a small group of people full of weapons as a great conquest, whose intentions are to destroy the natural way of order, and let them know that any weapons they keep are theirs, obviously, as well as any honor they find, and that if they can bring the specific head of a certain general, then they will have easy access to powerful people to both train and assist wherever they need next time.
You got a certain amount of their motivations about right. But I think you're missing the mark on a few others.
Yeah, that's about accurate.
Regardless, they especially wouldn't have taken it from an outsider, no matter how clever or well-informed.
I was hoping large would be more convincing, but, you know.
Nah, you're big and strong for one of our kind.
If you call me
Half-blooded.
short, I will shove that halberd somewhere you will never see it again.
I'm just saying that you probably aren't going to get into a contest of build and come out of it well with certain leaders of the tribe.
Speaking of, who is in charge? The one year from at least when you left.
Allow me to double check real quick because I do have it written down, I just don't have it memorized.
That's okay. D&D Beyond.
Will you stop?
Boulderfist. Maddock. Maddock Boulderfist.
Let me just check my notes if it's an Americanized real fast.
It is not.
Oh, well.
It might be a name Kane recognizes as basically a very strong, very powerful warrior. He might not be the chief of the tribe on your side, at least not that you last were part of it. He could have attained that, because you really only had a brief visit. But he is big, he is strong, at least the him that you remember. Not unfitting as chief material.
He'll just nod.
He's also kind of, from the one you recall on your side, he's kind of got a pride thing going on. Where it's like you do not question his ability, his prowess, his leadership, his honor, his anything of the sort. Or else you get a tasty dirt sandwich served face first.
Okay, I'm just gonna. Alright, just rolls the neck like. Oh, I wish it was just as easy as I hope. Walk in, beat up the guy in charge, be like, hey, I'll let you just do this. Just do this one thing for me.
I'd almost pay to see it, except I don't want to see you killed by literally everybody else in the tribe.
Yeah, that's the downside. It's a bit of a warlord kind of thinking. It's a shame to be simpler.
Might be simpler in other tribes. I don't know. Only grew up in the one. Anyhow, you mentioned Deep Thicket. I assume that the army that was marching across Pridwin had something to do with that, or are they doing okay, or?
We left from there, we're not sure. We were part of the defense force. We're hoping to see one of the, well, maybe not hoping, but prepared in case one of the, Nightwing, nope, not Nightwing. One of the bastards were there.
Nightingale?
Thank you.
See, our information said that none of the Nightingales went with the Force, but they also weren't able to get anything as to what the Force was actually doing. We actually figured out that they were just a distraction, kind of at the last minute here. Kind of assumed that's all they were, that they weren't actually going to attack or do anything, just make a big noisy show crossing the plain.
Well, I was afraid they would, because if they took Deep Thicket, that's... Imagine what they could do to everything between there and Pridwin. Especially with the Moran and the good fun.
Not too much between there and Pridwin, to be honest.
No, but it leaves not much left for them to conquer. So, either way, people need help around here. We should see what's left to do, and if there's nothing left, then probably get some rest. And well, do you guys have a next step? Do you know where one of the Nightingales are?
We have ways to find out.
As do I.
Right. Do we have any long-distance communication we can do?
You don't have anyone who can do sending, can they?
Yeah, hold on, I just need to go find her,
Also, we should go find, player can't remember, guy, like, leader guy at Threshold here.
Oh,
yeah.
fuck.
You could just say the Keeper. Otherwise, if you're after his name, Philarion.
Philarion, yep. We should go give Philarion a, status report.
And
That's fair.
Needed.
Also,
That too.
Also tell him the little dragon's safe.
I'd imagine he would have found out by now, but just in case, good idea.
Yeah.
Right.
Can't have him fretting. He's protective.
Right. Well, we'll be off, and we'll be in contact. Where can we find you?
Probably here and there.
Ask around, got it.
Yeah.
If you're gonna head out, find us first.
Yep.
I'll do my best.
Thanks.
I've got to introduce you to Myra anyway in order to get that communication set up. She has to have at least met you in order to send you a message.
Alright, cool.
Yep. Alright. And we'll go find Philarion.
Okay. So, you head in and maybe ask around a little bit, and you are directed towards an area of the compound that wasn't actually damaged by any of the fire. Even the areas that are, it didn't go long enough or deep enough or hot enough to cause major structural damage, but there's some areas where the roof is maybe a little compromised, maybe a little bit not fully there anymore. So you're directed to one of the still intact regions, but also with a word of warning that Kvirni's with him, but he might not really be up to taking visitors right now.
Oh, it's worth a check anyways. Also,
Well, that's good.
go give a knock on the door.
When you get to the door, actually, there is Roderick sitting outside of it, kind of slumped against the wall. He almost seems to be asleep, but he quickly nods himself awake as you approach.
Good morning,
Stands up.
Roderick.
Is it already?
I'm not sure, but
He
you were
rubs his
sleeping.
eyes.
It's like 1 in the afternoon. Maybe 3.
No, it doesn't feel like it. Of note, you guys actually got there around sunrise. So
Okay.
it might have been a couple of hours. It might not quite be noon yet.
It's
Yep.
7 a.m.
Debuting you, it's 11:48. Anyways,
Ugh.
is Valerian available?
He's in there, but last I checked, he was sleeping.
Is he hurt?
Is he okay? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, some of them got in first. Some sort of advance guard, I don't know. Shock
Fuck, man.
runners.
Tell us
He's
sooner.
alive. He's alive.
We can fix him up. Tell us sooner, man. Come on.
He just got a lump on the head knocked out. They chased Kvirani until she found us, and she's in there with him. He's gonna be fine. Honestly, when we found him, he came to long enough to pretty much tell us not to spend the healing spells on him, and he just rested off.
Well, I
We've
have
been keeping an
traditional
eye.
methods.
Yeah, also
Alright.
concussions and falling asleep soon after, it's an awful idea. Jesus fucking Christ, soldier.
We've been keeping an eye on him.
It's just... Asana... Fuck. Not Asana. What's Roger Nor names? I can't remember.
Roderick, yeah, it's the
Yeah,
from
Roderick,
Shop.
the guy from the other side. He knows exactly what's going on.
I just want to make sure.
It's
Asana,
okay.
check the eye pupils, whatever the fuck. You know the whole...
Yes, I
just-
know.
Can we go in, Rod?
Here, hold on. And he pokes his head in and kind of comes back out, holds a finger up to his lips, like, alright, but
Perhaps
maybe
one
one
at a
at a
time.
time.
Yes.
yeah,
well-
don't overwhelm him. He looks like
Two at a
he's
time.
stirring.
I say 2 at a time.
I
Cole, go with Asana, just to check, make sure he's not getting spied on.
Yeah, that's very fair.
I-
And also,
Well, also, but I'd rather 3 outside and then just once I come back out, you give a check on me.
Just take the lamp with you.
Alsana, if you need extra healing too, I'm just.
It's
Also, if you need a spare hand healing.
I have some magic left.
Honestly, though, I do agree. Save the magic, just take the lamp.
But that leaves
Fine,
3 of you
take
out
the
here,
lamp.
potentially.
Yes, I'm not worried
Yeah.
about us right now. They know we're here.
Fine. Just take the lamp. Go.
Fine.
Go in.
She'll take it.
Okay. You head in. And the lamplight illuminates the small room.
She'll hood
And-
it a bit.
Before you do so, it does glint slightly off of the scales of a very small dragon, curled at the foot of the bed with her head resting just off of the chest of Hilarion. You see Kvirani lift that head up and look towards you.
Hello. I'm here for a check-in.
There's a little whir, and she nestles her head back down and keeps an eye on you.
Just going to lightly and carefully just set the lantern down in the corner so it illuminates. It gives a low light to everything.
Yep. Sit down. There's a little chink as the handle of the lantern hits the top of the hood, and you see Filarion stir slightly. Kind of his head rolls a little bit on the pillow, and he mutters a bit to himself. There are some bandages wound around his head, a little bit of a compress on the bedside table next to him that's been used. You can smell the herbs from there. Things that bring down swelling, things that alleviate a little bit of pain.
Alsana is going to just slowly walk up and just... Florian?
There's another stir and a murmur, and his eyes crack open and kind of squint at you through the very dim light. and the darkness. Oh, hello.
I'm here to give a check on you, if that's alright.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I won't expend a bunch of magic. I'll be traditional, but I am rather good.
Did the keepers get to the deep thicket? I sent them.
The keepers get to the deep thicket.
Yeah, you asked for some keepers to support Deep Thicket.
I didn't hear of them by the time, but we're going to probably check in on Deep Thicket soon. We just came from there.
You didn't leave it undefended, did you?
She shook her head. No, we took a chunk out of them at first,
Oh, good.
but when word was they were encroaching this close here,
I was told that you saved Xerani
we
and others.
not just us.
Thank you, all of you.
Nods. I'm going to ask you to sit up just a bit.
Alright. And he starts to get up on his elbows, and you hear a little whine from Kaverni, and she actually pushes her chin a little more firmly on his chest to push him back down. No, come on. I gotta get up.
It's okay. I'm going to make sure he's okay, then we can get him back to rest.
There's a huff, and she gets up, reluctantly, but allows you to see to Philarion. He sits up, and he's still got this slightly pained squint on his face, but nothing seems extremely off-kilter as you begin to do a simple examination. It doesn't seem that there's any further bleeding, though the lump he was given did have a bit of a gash to it as well. But that seems to have largely been absorbed, caught up, and has scabbed over by now. You run some tests. Philarion, as promised, probably gonna do just fine. Just needs a little bit of time.
Can I have her do a medicine check to just help him along there?
Sure. Go ahead and make that roll.
Alright, that's herself.
Yeah. Oh my god.
She looks over and she
Fucking
goes,
shit.
and she just like puts like 2 fingers like on its spine. It's like, oh, that shouldn't be there. Tick.
There's a ah, and then ah. Hold on, what did you do? And he starts rotating around, and he's probably got a lot more mobility now in the spinal area. And you give it a check over. You prescribe a little bit of an extra herb in the compress that you know will speed up the healing a fair bit without putting any undue stress on him, given his current condition. Yeah, you're able to pretty much give him a clean bill of health and make a couple of simple improvements to said health.
Yep.
Prescribe a tea for daily drinking. You might have increased his lifespan, natural lifespan, by about 20 to 50 years.
But I have to ask, does he have arthritis now?
Oh my
Not anymore.
goodness.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
And she just kind of sits there. I was like, all right, now that you're a bit cognizant, you'll probably be falling back asleep in the next hour or so. But with some extra blood flowing in the noggin now. A quick update on everything we've been up to. Two
Of course.
Two of them are.
Do you want to bring the others? Oh.
And yes, now that you're more receiving to a bit more noise. And she'll just give a knock on the door.
Tell Roderick he can stop babysitting me.
She creaks open the door.
You see Roderick shaking his head. Just tell him I'm babysitting the dragon who refuses to leave him.
You heard him.
I heard him.
Also on that, while Asana was doing all that, she'll also just give a quick check on the dragon.
Kavirni is looking a little bit, not stressed anymore,
Mhm.
but exhausted, like someone who's coming off of a lot of stress recently. Shaken. She doesn't have any injuries worse than a little bit of scuffling, a little bit of bruising perhaps beneath the scales in some of the softer areas, like beneath the belly where they haven't fully grown into the adult hardness. She will also be fine, but she's probably going to need a little bit of care to just help her along, given the experience.
Yep. And on that, Alsana will walk over to Roderick and go, "Here's a quick recipe," and she just hands him a note. Go bake this up. It will make the dragon very happy.
Kind of looks at it and looks up at you and, where am I supposed to get this much fish?
I can get you a shark if you need.
There's like an entire lake around
Yes, we
here.
just caught a shark like a few weeks ago.
Yeah, there's a couple hundred people here, I think. They can go through a shark pretty quick.
Yeah,
Can go
Well,
get
shark
another
meat-
shark.
the shark meat work with
No.
us?
And
Okay, I guess, if you say so.
Yep.
I'll go work this out. You go ahead.
Yeah, and she just like gave like the most medically informed feel good dragon meal.
Yep.
as soon as he walked in, it's like, can you make those for people too? Because
It's like a
I'm
stew.
I was researching photogeny, but I suppose I could produce them for you after all this is said and done.
Oh no, not for me. I just want to know the recipe so I can bake it for someone.
It's for silver dragons.
Who are you baking it for, Kane?
Well, I'm gonna need to get back and apologize for being gone. For
Is
a
there
few
something
months.
about that your librarian friend you want to tell us?
Yeah, I want to bake her a cake.
A fish?
No, it's just so you could find a recipe that works for people too. Like I said.
Anyways,
Oh, that's
turns
adorable.
back to turns back the other two. Two down.
Oh yeah, they're dead as shit.
Don't. She
Grab-
puts a
grab-
hand on the bag. Don't.
Don't.
Solarian puts a hand up. Please don't. I trust your word. I don't need proof.
Honestly, it's just a reflex, just to make sure he's still dead. I don't trust it.
Then just put your hand in the bag. Don't pull
How am I
it out.
supposed to who's in it?
Yes, I'm sure if you put your hand in the bag and he's somehow alive in there, you'll quickly know as he bites you.
Anyways, I'm not sure if you've heard from the resistance that came in. Apparently, the
yes.
King of Numbarian has been brought back to the living.
Unfortunate, but understandable that they would be so hasty, especially after seeing the success in Pridwin.
No, we really need to stop this. We're intending on making a move as quick as we can. We all need rest after today, but
And you'll be welcome to it. To anything we can do to help after all of this.
and again, thank you all for all of this. You've been doing your best, and it's been wonderful.
I'm not sure how well we would have done if you hadn't realized and come to help.
Well, I don't know how well we would be if we just kind of fell into this side without any help. So, both of us being here is helpful.
Fair enough. Well, if you need the day, if you need anything that we can provide here, take it. I suppose that once I'm out of this bed, I'm going to be very busy.
That's
So I don't know about you, but I'm going to appreciate this as much as I can given the circumstances.
well. We'll leave you to the rest then. And looks down at the dragon. You as well, Kafirni, though there is something very tasty coming on your way.
Kvirini's little ears prick up and forward and look at you, but she keeps her chin down on the blankets.
There's a smile. It's like, oh, I would love to see Tokenia this small.
Go to sleep well, though, Kavirani, okay? Gotta rest up, and Calder tries to give a little pat.
Yep, Quiriny allows the pat, and her eyes slide shut. She kind of rolls her head into it a little bit.
You guys rest.
We will, and you as well. You look like you've been through a forest fire, to be very blunt.
Forest fire and a dead sun. Just forehead point.
And a castle fire.
Yeah.
And a donut dragon.
His forehead starts to crease. That sounds like quite a lot.
Yeah, and it's like 11 a.m. Well, noon. So you can imagine that I'm really hoping that there's some sort of breakfast or lunch we can take part of.
I'll do it.
I almost feel that I would have a headache if not for the herbal remedies that were given to me. Well,
Oh, by all means, you would. That stuff is
After all that,
weapons grade.
yeah, what kind of magic bullshit did you give him that he doesn't have a headache after that?
It is. There is no magic. Simple skill. We'll be off.
Kind of. Ariel, I have a question.
Mhm.
This is a little off base. Are dragons like cats that when you look into their eyes, it's sort of you can tell what time it is?
Can it
Um,
be?
hmm.
I was
This is
just
a
thinking
bit of
that
world
it's
building I've never thought of. Hold on.
like
Yes,
Felarian.
yes, they are.
As I'm like, well, what if Felarian could just look into Kavirani's eyes and just be like, ah, yes, noon.
I'm gonna say it's something that you really only get when you've been around dragons quite a lot. But yes, Felarian probably could. So yes, Felarian reaches under, scritches Kavirani's chin, tilts her head up. She looks at him in the eyes, and he just. It's getting towards lunchtime.
Yes. Okay, so I was just really curious.
Thank you.
Cut to Alsana thinking, and there's a little thought bubble, a little chibi thing where she grabs Tokeni's face, and the Tokeni bites her hand.
Uh-huh. Exactly how that would go.
If 1 + 1 equals 2, then 2 + 2 equals. Ah, shit!
Well-
But you guys are free to do as you will with the remainder of the day as the sun is up. Repairs are already underway. Though, to be frank, so are some preparations for quite a few funerals, as a number of guards and keepers did lose their lives. On top
That'll
of
be
that,
Alsana's afternoon.
On top of that, there are the various bodies of Nightingale soldiers. Dragged out, lined up in rows as Threshold and the Keepers begin to figure out what to do with them all, how to handle this.
Cald is gonna probably help out Alsana a little bit and should we bury the Nightingales too?
I was thinking on a pyre.
And when we go back to Deep Thicket, can we bury Osborne?
Nods. Honestly, it would be. We know where his family is.
I know, I don't know how. Umbarion's really weird with funerals. Sometimes.
No, I mean, they're currently over in the Dragonspine.
I know, Part of me wants to do the thing of bringing them the body, but I also don't think throwing the body through a tree would be a good idea.
You want my opinion?
Yeah.
They feed the forest they destroyed.
That works. That's okay.
The least
I
they
just-
can do.
Yeah. I just a lot of parents lost a lot of kids today.
I know, Does Asana hear them?
Hmm. It's a bit chaotic right now. There might be a little interference, but yeah, fairly often actually on Threshold you have heard vague whisperings in the back of your head. Perhaps it's just being so close to a place where worlds, I mean, specifically the mirror worlds, but also in general, are a little closer. But yeah, if you stop and you focus, you can start to hear at least the echoes. Nothing specific. No distinct words, just waves of sound washing.
Asana just like pauses for a few seconds mid conversation, just it's like a much larger room. Much larger crowd. It's indecipherable, but you know there's more of them.
What do
Coming
you
and going.
mean? Ty's confused.
No, and she leans. Oh, I haven't. Hopping into the ethereal isn't the only bit of it I could do.
Oh, you can hear him?
Sometimes. If I listen, if it's quiet. I did a bit when we were over in the plains. I heard them all trapped there. That's why I want to help them.
Part of me, sorry you hear it, but the other part is, it's good you want to help them.
There's a small like smile on her face, and just like, I'm glad you believe me. Although I'd be lying if some of me going into my magics wasn't to just make sure I wasn't crazy.
Could you hear it before?
Nods.
I think that's kind of cool.
Bit of a calling, I guess.
I'm proud of you for finding out where you needed to be. And I'm sure all of these other spirits who you're going to help are proud of you too.
I hope so.
You're doing good. Alright. Teach me some funerary rites. I'm gonna help out a little bit.
Yes, I suppose your time to actually be a holy woman, she says with a grin.
You shush. Holy woman only in this sense.
Look, you've been getting off scot-free because you're currently under a concept.
I tried to do it with the body we found
I'm just
in
saying.
that cabin.
I'm just saying, if that concept starts talking to you, you're gonna need to start thinking up some prayers for it.
I've been listening to your prayers. I try, but you always take that
You can't
beautiful
just
little
copy
spotlight.
them.
You're doing so well. They're the ones you say.
Yes, those are for mine. You have to have some for your familial commitment prayers. They can't be death and passing all the time.
We have to talk about this once this is all done. I want to get in tune with that side. It feels serene sometimes.
Like I said,
We need to have like a couple of weeks, like a girls' week around dead bodies.
if the concept starts talking, let me know. We can sort that out.
I don't think the concept will start talking, you goofo.
Tilts her head. It's like, Alaris does. And she just kind of like goes to start moving her body.
Oh, you know what I mean. You know I love you.
Speaking of Alaris, as those two are having their conversation, I don't imagine you are too far away given the lantern range.
Yeah,
But
he's not terribly
Yeah.
far off.
as you're there, as you're helping out, perhaps, there's a little from behind you. You turn and you see a tiefling woman, middling height, middling age as well. Fairly simply dressed, doesn't seem to be armed or armored.
Yeah.
You do see a wand sticking out of her belt and a book at her side. And she says, excuse me, I don't want to interrupt anything. Do you have a moment?
Sure.
Dren told me to talk to at least one of the ones running around in masks. My name is Myra.
All right.
I am a wizard, and I am with the Daybreak Rebellion.
Yeah.
Is Olsana here?
And for the record, he has his hood up so that it conceals most of his hair, so he can, at a whim, just sort of snap his fingers and have the visage of the male Aurora that he usually goes with for a disguise.
Okay. Can do that.
So he'll take off the hood and he'll have the red hair.
All right. So you've got the red hair, and she gives you a nod. And Drun wasn't able to tell me your name. If we could become acquainted.
Laris. No.
Do you want to mulligan that?
Yeah, I was
We'll
gonna say.
mulligan that. Call me Ronan.
Gee, Beth.
Okay.
Ronan?
Yeah. Ronan.
Okay.
Ronin.
I thought you said ramen.
Okay. Huh, for some reason, almost none of my music is working. I'm gonna have to fix that before next week. So, sorry about the background. I'm doing my best.
If anything happens, we'll make background music for you.
Yep.
Do.
I'm gonna have to review all of it.
Stop it.
Anyway, she nods and Ronan.
Yeah.
So, if you don't mind me asking, are you wearing those due to the old legends, or you're trying to evoke them?
That's one reason, yes, I suppose.
I have to say, it's very academically interesting.
Yeah.
Just that 1,000 years ago, some people in masks come and deal with one local problem, vanish, and now here you are dealing with another one, also in masks.
Okay, how close is Olsana?
Wouldn't call this conflict to be local, but yes, I suppose it does invoke a bit of that.
I'll say you're close enough to have your attention piqued.
Yep, the little half-elf ears. And just
Mhm.
looks back and like,
Perk.
oh, are you the sending lady? Olsana runs up.
Yes, I am the sending lady.
Sorry, that's all I was given for your name as well.
You would be Morticia?
Nods.
I'm
Just
Myra.
can't hear that.
And that would be Worse and Cora.
Sorry, you were talking about 1,000 year ago?
Roughly. The legends don't exactly have a strictly set date, but they largely claim to be around the turn of the eras, so
Mm-hmm.
give or take.
It did feel appropriate.
I imagine it did.
Moreover, I guess I'm just curious on where yours are, because our own resident assassin on this side. Oh yeah, just I suppose just an interest, because our stories on those were a bit of a local tale. Where, what is yours of, I guess, your knowledge on the heroes 1,000 years ago?
I haven't made a dedicated study of it, but in general, a group of masked heroes come and defeat an evil sorceress of storms and death and then vanish.
Oh, you're a
All
researcher.
very. It's all very poetic and very much a subject of sagas.
Nods. Just. Um. I guess she stops and thinks for a sec. Do you think we're going to be fit to be the second coming?
Well, I'm sure I couldn't say until end results come, one way or another. Apparently, you did fairly well last we saw of anything. Was just this morning. An entire undead dragon.
Nods.
And one of the Nightingales themselves. We've been somewhat reluctant to move too easily, too brashly, due to them, their armies.
We might be the tiebreaker on that one.
You might break a certain beast's back.
Are you talking explicitly?
Perhaps. You've already broken the one.
Are we breaking the dragon's spine, or what?
That would be the goal. You've done it once on one scale, but there's the much larger dragon spine to deal with.
I've given glances into it. They have a number of soldiers and corpses at
Oh,
their discretion.
I'm aware. I've given glances of my own. That being said,
have you scryed upon the woman in the dark robes?
once or twice, but she's always seemed able to figure it out and cancel the spell.
It's not just canceling. She turns it back on you.
Ah. Well, it's probably a good thing I haven't done so in quite some time.
Nods.
Well, anything she may or may not have seen or heard as a result of that is by now water quite under the bridge.
Something to know going forward, though.
Certainly. I do appreciate the heads up.
As well, the one who is all but immune to those is no more.
Oh, I'm aware of that, and I am quite grateful for it. Did you find out how or why he is immune?
I didn't have the time for an autopsy, but it seems he is simply in the fight against him, at least, just keen on shrugging things off.
Frustrating. But, at the very least, a frustration that is no longer going to be one I have to contend with.
By the
Now,
way,
I was given to understand there was another that you snuffed. Which one would that be?
the male in the robes.
Ah, which leaves the halfling.
Nods.
Well, I suppose I'd better keep an eye on that one in particular, but there are other ways.
It should be noted with the research I've garnered, she might be a bit irrational in the coming time.
She's a little woo.
Really?
Just a bit.
She's always seemed one of the steadier ones from our intelligence and encounters.
Also,
She can control herself. We've noticed.
Alsana will give a glance to Calda, just give a look like, should we say?
About Deep Thicket?
Nods.
Yeah, why not?
She recently lost a child in the battle in Deep Thicket.
Ah. Perhaps she might withdraw from the fight.
She
Oh,
shakes her head.
mm,
From my understanding, her goals were steeped in family and the return of family.
Hmm. Well, I'll pass the word on in that case.
She might be dug in further. She might be rash. She might be colder and more composed than ever. But something's bound to change with her.
Regardless, you've done quite a lot in this amount of time. May well be a good time for us to actually attempt a push, where we've only held on and watched and picked at the edges.
One other thing.
Hmm.
There is, I believe in the Dragon Spine, there is a child vampire.
Well,
Was the son of one of the Nightingales, the male in the robes.
oh. Vengeful? Or.
Now too.
Oh, say again?
Also, his wife is dead now too.
Was just about to say. And also the mother was also in the fight that took place in Deep Thicket, and she fell as well.
so that is now an orphaned, undead child.
Something to keep an eye out for if we are planning on raiding the spine.
Well, I would love to believe that being it's a child, it would not be as much of a threat.
Undead is undead.
That would be, yes, that would be a foolish thing to assume and stake lives on.
I might be able to fully remove that curse from the corpse. Just-
You would be full of surprises.
If you were to come across such a child, just let us know.
Oh, I am not one for the front lines, but I'll make sure those who are would know.
I get the feeling you're the ones to let them know, though.
Oh, certainly. Now, is there any other interesting little tidbits of information that I should carry onward?
I guess just a question. You're fully trustworthy, right?
As trustworthy as I believe that you could probably trust me further than you could throw me.
Nods. And some more than others. But you're not of the Nightingales, are you?
No, but I would understand that any spy or other agent would, of course, give the same answer.
Quick insight.
Go ahead.
Cole's gonna give one too, just in case.
Eee.
Go ahead.
Yeah, please.
Ah, I mean,
Sorry.
yeah, a little bit difficult to read. There's a little quirk of a smile on her face. She seemed a little bit amused.
Well, your answer's well trained, if so.
I think my answer would be quite foolish, really.
Regardless, is there anywhere you do have any sort of subterfuge among your ranks?
Clarify, if you would.
Are we sure you sending that information is
Ah,
not
You're
going to fall in the
asking-
wrong hands?
you're asking if our ranks contain a spy for the Nightingales.
Nods. If you have any suspicion on that.
Not currently. They do not seem to have any undue knowledge of our movements, of our numbers, of our various locations. We have not encountered anything that would suggest that they've taken much more of a notice of us than a kingdom might of a few bandits on their borders. Annoyance, yes. A desire to snuff us out, undoubtedly. But anything careful and dedicated enough to warrant sending in a spy and tracking our movements from within, no.
I
Not
mean-
as much.
I mean, with a group name as subtle as yours, who knows what your motives could be?
I'd say that, again, we are an annoyance, but not to the degree that they would take us that seriously.
Not yet.
Not yet. We have been working on it.
On that, what are you bringing?
Intelligence. Some things that perhaps might not be found via scries.
Are you playing your own subterfuge?
A bit. We also have, perhaps not strength of numbers, but we are not helpless, shall we say. We've, again, neglected and put off any sort of large push because we were aware of what the enemy has to bear. That being said, with you as potential spear fronts, having already proved your power and ability to be so, there might be a chance if we can combine strengths. Additionally, we may have a way in. Again,
Bold claim?
it's one we have not dared to use because it's been more useful on the information gathering front. We did not want to risk that way on something that was very unlikely to have any notable success.
And at worst, bolster their undead ranks.
At worst, yes. I suppose the fact that she never found out about the undead child. Well, I suppose she can't know everything that's happening.
Who is the she?
I believe that a more organized group might say something like confidential. She goes by Celeste. And that is all that anyone needs to know.
Where's her position then? What
Low.
can she get to us?
She can open a gate. The right time and the right place. She's not going to be able to poison anyone's cup or bring us anyone's head on a platter. Nor is she going to be able to divert entire platoons of guards or soldiers. She's not in a position of command.
How coordinated is she? Or can she be?
Quite. She has some similar gifts to me. A little bit of magic to communicate.
That gives us a bit of an in, right?
More than a bit.
A bit.
You might not even
Now
need the gate open.
Problem with coordination is, of course, that I would need to somehow get you in contact with her without her leaving her post.
You don't happen to have a scroll of a dream spell, would you?
Just. Unfortunately, that is one spell that I have not quite learned as of yet.
Mine either, but I have given it a try at casting once. My thought is that if we could coordinate with her to be at a certain place at a certain time of day, I can magically transport us to any tree of decent size that I've seen before.
Interesting.
And if I were to scry upon her at a certain time, such that she was within the confines of the area and nearby a suitable piece of plant,
I see where you're going with this. I'll say that if you wish to speak to her directly, if you were able to find me a dream spell scroll, I might be able to effect such a meeting. I believe that spell allows me to cast it upon another, but target one that I know.
That's.
Otherwise,
You would have no problem with it as it's within your full repertoire.
Hmm.
Potentially, mind you.
I believe. Otherwise, there is the slightly more unsynchronized step of you giving me the date and time, I passing it along, I get a reply, pass it on to you.
Moreover, a direct line between us and her could serve for smoothing over information. Finding small little things that maybe are not specified to you, but is known to her.
We may wish to try the less synchronized version first with the sending spell. Her guard shifts are not guaranteed to be during the day. She might not be asleep when you expect to use a dream spell. It would be best to test the waters a bit with sending. It's a simpler spell. I can do it more times, though perhaps not today. I am somewhat spent.
On that too, might I ask, how did you all get here?
Ah,
Is that your magics?
that would be my work. Yes, it's rather the only reason that I end up on a battlefield is because I am necessary for transport to and from. Of course, when the situation turned out to be quite under control and we didn't need a swift evacuation, I was able to turn my magics towards other aid. So now I'm afraid we are somewhat stuck here until I can rest and regain.
I know the feeling.
Such an inconvenience. But a small price to pay compared to the greater inconvenience of having to travel all that distance on foot.
I can agree on that. So, we have a potential in the way of your little informant. Who would we be bringing along? I assume the other two that you came with. Or three, rather.
That would be up to them. But I'm sure they wouldn't be unwilling. At the very least, they'd be valuable support to handle any problems at your backs, prevent you from being surrounded. Beyond that, I'm afraid our allies are somewhat thin on the ground. There was a time we were working more or less alongside the soldiers of Bridwin, but we withdrew when the deal was struck to bring their queen back, for fear that she might be rather in their pockets.
Oh. Funny you mention that. I may or may not have had a direct conversation with the Queen.
Well, this will either confirm fears or allay them.
She hates the feeling of being under their thumb. Currently, her revival is one that is steadied upon repeated imbibement of some
Potion?
yeah, brain just completely dropped there.
Yep.
A repeated imbibement of a potion of their making, one that is rather exclusive to ingredients from the dragon spine.
Dangerous, but...
I found
Potential.
alternatives.
Well, in that case, if you can get in contact with the Queen on our behalf, then I can get in contact with our spy on yours. If that sounds amenable.
I don't have much in the way of direct contact with her. The one time I've cast the dream spell was to talk to her and to get her spot in place, such that we could appear there with much the same tactic of looking upon a tree. That's how we took out
Well-
the first nightingale.
Well, I will be getting in contact with our spy anyhow, on your behalf. Just was hoping we might be able to do so with a little more backup.
I will
Regardless.
look into further getting into talks with her.
It would be appreciated. Now, I can tell you that we will not be leaving this island within the day, for obvious reasons. She gestures to herself, as discussed. So, there is at least until tomorrow morning, perhaps longer if we stay. So, whatever you may find out, and whatever I do, we can reconvene at a later time. I may track down one of you if I can't find all. I at least will be able to find you by your masks. Well, until then, I have more to be done. And I'm sure you do as well. Don't let me keep you.
Keep in contact, please.
And stay safe. Just,
Ah.
you know.
You as well. Until then. Maya returns and walks away. And you are left to your various tasks.
There is so much fish.
Okay, you have stocked the kitchen well. That being said, lunch and then eventually dinner notably fishy.
Also, is
Okay.
going to give a quick check-in on Gavirni.
Okay. Kvirni is, depending on what time you check in.
After the delivery.
Okay. Kvirni is face deep in a steaming bowl of what you know is high quality, highly nutritious dragon food. And she
Enjo-
looks up and licks her chops at you.
enjoying it?
There's a little.
She'll walk over and hand a folded piece of paper over to
Falarion.
Valarian.
What's this?
The recipe.
Thank you. I will see to it that the kitchen has this.
That's just pat on Gavirni and head out.
Yep, there is a not a crunch sound, but a definite smack of a fish fillet going down. All right, is there anything anybody else would want to get up to with this day?
Nope.
Also, we'll check in at the library.
Okay.
And just-
Alistair has pretty
Okay.
much gotten it to rights, but he's still kind of doing some fiddly reorganization.
It's never quite right.
It's never quite right, and he also seems to have taken this almost as an opportunity halfway through to revamp some of his organization system, and that's resulted in slowing down his work a good bit. But there is order in the chaos.
Also, looks at it and just, I can appreciate the order among this chaos.
I need to order more shelves. These are old and they really need to come out.
Speaking of your orders, question. Do you happen to know if you got that scroll of dreams from a particular supplier?
No. I want to say that I got it from either Umbarion or Soren, but I can't remember which. I tended to travel around and just sort of picked up odds and bobs here and there. He stands back with his hands on his hips looking at the shelf, which, yeah, some of the shelves are kind of leaning a little bit. They're looking worn. Is that big one any good with carpentry?
Out of character, is he? Is it mainly boat carpentry, or?
That's up to Kane. It's up to Conrad, rather.
I mean, he's okay at it. He's more of like repair work than like building it all, but they live in a swamp with nothing but wood around them, so.
He's more. He's. I wouldn't call him amateurish, but he's specialized towards boats. He knows repair work, though.
It's not boats, it's just. It's not fancy. It doesn't look great. It works.
He specialized towards function rather than form.
Alistair kicks at the bottom of the shelving unit, and one of the shelves goes off of the pegs. I could do with a little function.
I'll give him a check-in then. And Alsana will just go find Kane. The librarian wants to know if you're willing to build a bookcase.
Build or repair?
Yes.
Do they have a lot of wood I can use?
Not sure.
Are you reconstructing a castle, or
Say again?
would possibly be better used reconstructing a castle, or?
You might be able to just do some patchwork. Let's go at least check.
And as a way to shorten it, if they need a bunch of wood, Kane's gonna try to pull out the biggest piece of wood that he can out of his bag.
In all honesty, they need a bunch of wood in general, both for building pyres, if that's the direction they go with
I meant
the
just for the
bodies,
bookshelf.
and also for repairs. And as for the bookshelf, go ahead and roll a d20.
Roll 20, pull out a bookshelf.
Not quite, but
18. I mean,
18. All right.
Mahogany.
Yeah, let me just
I can click it.
Yeah.
Hold on.
precisely what you're after and pretty good quality. So you actually get several boards, straight, smooth, fine quality wood. Maybe not like the best, most rare wood of all, but it's a nice grained hardwood that should be fairly easy to work with in this context.
He just pats the bag like, thank you very much for that. And he's going to do his best to make the librarian like him, because this is just his default state.
Sonable guidance.
All right, I'm assuming you don't. Do you have any proficiency with wood carvers or carpenter's
Yeah.
tools?
Proficiency with... Oh, I thought I did. I do not. I was practicing it on the beads. That's what I was doing. I have the tools.
You were trying. Yes. Okay.
Could you do like
So-
a half proficiency of the shipwrights?
I don't know if shipwrights. I have navigators.
Navigators.
Yeah, navigators isn't going to help on this in this case. So there's no proficiency, but there is guidance, and I'm going to say that this is
Wisdom?
probably. Yeah, wisdom and or dexterity, whichever one you'd like to roll, or if
Go
you'd
with
like.
dexterity.
Okay, or if you'd like, you can do one of each and average them together. But you can only do the guidance on one of them.
Let's just go with the dexterity check.
Okay, go for it. Haha.
Again, his default state is making the librarian like him.
Okay. Yeah, you actually put together a nice sturdy shelf and do one more dexterity check for a curiosity thing.
Sure thing.
Okay, you kind of get a little bit of that fledgling wood carving in an attempted bit of scroll work across the top. You can tell where the pattern got a little lopsided, but it's distinct, it's present, it's not bad overall.
He kind of looks at it and just... I mean, hopefully this will suffice, but he kicks the same corner of the shelf.
There's a thunk, but it holds steady. And
not ready
there's a happy little hum from Alistair as he starts to gather up scrolls and books and starts to neatly, tidily stack them on the shelves. Yes, this will do very nicely. Well done.
If there's any books that you expect can be left off shelf for a little while, I wouldn't mind doing some reading up.
Oh, I suppose you'll treat them nicely.
Have I ever? Look, I treat books well, except when I'm scared they're gonna be lit on fire. In which case, I figure a bit of rough housing is better than being on fire.
Oh, very well.
He had a gentle
would
touch
think-
with the wood.
You at
Oh,
least have
that's
some
what I was-
manners. All right, you can sit over there, just out of the way, and if you do read anything or take anything out of a stack, either put it precisely back where it was, or else tell me, and
Hmm.
I'll put it back where it was.
How about I take out of a stack that you haven't put back onto the shelf yet?
He
Stick
just
to the
points at the various stacks and piles around the room.
Cool. Kane will look for something interesting.
All right. I know what Kane defines as interesting. Go ahead and D20 luck roll.
I found a shark. God damn it, not again!
You find a book about sharks, but
It's a
it's kind
pop-up
of
book
more.
that scares you.
It's kind of more a book that's talking about various magical sharks and giant sharks and
Oh,
how
what the
giant
fuck?
sharks might have come to be and magical theory surrounding sharks and whether sharks can be used in certain parts in certain alchemy preparations and
Also, I don't
it,
lean over his shoulder.
for being
This is so
a
cool.
book about a sea creature, it's a little bit dry in the writing, to be
But it is.
really honest, and it uses a lot of language that is highly technical. It's the sort of academic babble that's like, look at me, I am so smart. A layperson could never understand.
Like, it's every, 5 minutes, Alistair gets, what does this word mean? He yells it over to him.
5 minutes.
After the first
Damn.
after the first 5 minutes, all of a sudden I'll lean over, look at the way the book's written, and go, 1 second. All of a sudden wants to try to find something that'd be more suiting to Kane.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
gonna say. If he
D20
gets,
luck roll.
I was gonna say, if he gets too frustrated with it, Kane's gonna look for one on alligators and crocodiles.
She can't do an investigation.
This is mostly for luck rather than searching for something that is absolutely already there and that I know the DC for.
All right. Can you at
This is
least
for how lucky you're getting.
after the luck, just do one to again find one that would again not be more Kane speed, but one that is less that academically dry. Is all she's going for.
I'm gonna say luck roll first.
All right. 15.
All right, yeah, you'd be able to find something that's not so technical, but still interesting. You know what? 1 second. There's a whole chart that I could be using, and I've forgotten about it. Library books. Interesting books. Interesting might vary. You know what? Let's try
Okay,
in this. So if you'd like to, roll a d100.
Oh boy.
I'll see if I can actually open this thing in the meantime.
Oh hey,
because
Nettie
that's
again.
41. It's not loading.
Her name's Betty.
Hmm.
Wait, we're on the other side.
There wouldn't be another because she's Fae.
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess. No,
She
has
could have
she has a
sisters.
sister who ended up on this side.
And they have a sister on, probably the Feywild, just named Letty.
Hmm.
They're triplets.
I'm wondering if my internet connection is... there we go. It loaded. Gosh, that took a while. Oh, no!
Oh no. I don't like that.
Yawn.
Alright. I'm not sure why Alistair has this in this library. It probably just kind of got lost. It's maybe one of those books that was in, deep, deep storage from a long time ago, and it got mixed up in there. But in searching for something for Kane's speed, you find something that kind of makes you laugh in a mean way, because you come across Gobbo and Me, which is a children's book about the dangers of befriending goblins.
I was gonna make the joke of a fucking pop-up book.
It is a pop-up book. But I'll say on the second list that I've got pulled up, because I didn't know the first was going to work, you also find a book called the Geographica Gelatinosa. 101 oozes and how to avoid them.
Oh, come on, this is all stuff Alsana would read.
You can do another D100 and I'll
Oh.
look at both lists.
25.
Okay. All right, let's see. 25. Not another. Nope, I'm skipping one down.
Was it another Nettie?
It's another children's book.
Ah.
Um. Ha! Hit the apple, not my face. A detailed guide to archery.
That'll work.
It actually includes a lot of instructions on how to pull off trick shots and famous ones in history, and actually how they were pulled off, if not by skill, then perhaps by circumstance, or even one or two by trickery.
You'll throw that one again.
Yep.
What was the other 25?
Let me see.
Oh, my dad
Let
loves
me
that
see.
book.
It's that one is specific to a different D&D setting, so let's just make it the
Let me roll again.
rename it.
Okay.
I can just rename it. It is the let's say the Umbarion Survival Guide, first edition, written and illustrated. Complete reference for would-be adventurers, written by a recluse based on what had been told to the author by word of mouth. It contains many facts that probably shouldn't be followed.
Also, I just like it opens the book up to like a random page and just cringes.
Mhm.
Like walking, just like, Alsana, the corpses are starting to smell. What are we doing? Oh, my daughter loves the pop-up books.
She just has this like like look on her face, just like it's bunched up and like, oh, this is terrible. And she turns the page. Oh,
Why are you making that face?
it's just everything is factually wrong.
Oh, Umbarian, let me see it. Oh my gods!
Yeah, there's an entire page on like a favored cuisine in the city of Umbarion and how the locals consider it a delicacy, and it's pretty much the equivalent to somebody coming up to a stranger going, "Oh yeah, no, the eyeballs of the sheep. Yeah, best part. You should have them as an honored guest. No, seriously, you should have them. Best pick."
What are drop bears?
I don't know, but I don't know why this guy keeps talking about spleens.
Oh, I hate this so much. Turns the page.
Elaris, do you want to poke around the library since everybody else is there?
I suppose so.
Go ahead and you roll a d100.
Also, will also
D100.
like float the archery book by Alaris.
I've already read this one.
Well then, hands it back again.
Well, a variation of it. I doubt it's the same as the one on our world.
Someone's a trick shot elitist.
Elaris, you come across Short But Stout, which is a recipe book and an information book on Dwarven Ale.
Ooh,
Short and stout. Fuck off.
Wow,
lovely.
that's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
The other book that you come across in another stack reading around on a similar tangent is The Tao of Water. On the very first page, there is a note that lava and water is basically the same thing. Don't try to use fire spells on it. If you fail to understand this basic, the Tao will forever escape you. It's written in kind of an older dialect of Common, and it's a little bit like coming across a book in Old English where the script is a little different, and you look at it and go, is that a really tall F? What is it doing where an S should be? And it's just a little hard to parse, and if you try to read it, you would notice it kind of goes on some long-winded philosophical tangents.
Yeah. Huh.
Oh, fucking philosophers.
So leans over. Oh, it's Elemental Beowulf.
Yeah.
What a Beowulf.
Okay.
Oh, you don't know the classics. All right.
I know children's books. Those are the only books I've read recently. And cookbooks.
You see, the fun thing about single humans is that they die so much more quickly than other races. that once things get far enough removed, no one knows what anything is. So their ancient books are kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
Huh. Call's gonna like just start scouring through the shelves.
Roll your D100.
Fuck.
Do a different one. All right. Ha! Income management and financial assessment. It's got a lot of long chapters detailing ways to hoard, hide, and invest gold.
I feel like this was written by a dragon.
It's very dusty. It doesn't seem like it's been opened in a long time.
Very much written by a dragon.
Oh, I wonder if that was. Oh.
What?
I wonder if that was a favorite by someone here.
Oh, yeah.
The other book you come across is another, like, very old copy, very dusty and untouched in a long time. Looks like it might have been a holdover from, like, a different library, or maybe it got mixed up in the books. You find it in a pile that's closest to the door that seems like it might be something of a discard pile. It's titled Eat, Summon, Love, and from the synopsis on the back, apparently it's based on a true story, and it's about how a married woman realizing how unhappy her marriage is and her life needs to go in a different direction. She goes through a painful divorce and then joins a cult of necromancers to find herself.
Oh, I read this when I was pregnant.
Why?
You get bored when you can't go around swinging a sword for the first time. Osborne was the first, and I couldn't go out with my sword for 9 months.
Also, looks over. Necromancers. Why would any? Ugh.
Okay, I
Yeah,
have to admit,
Alistair walks by, sees you running through that pile, and trash literature. Getting
horrible.
rid of it.
Oh, you're right.
If you see anything in that pile you want, you can take it, but
Also,
it's
wants to look through.
leaving my library.
They can eat some in love.
Okay. Honestly, that other really dusty, like, financial book might be part of that.
Also, wants to tear through that
55.
discard stack and just look through
Alright.
everything.
Alright. Let me see. I think I've got a list of parody books. No summaries on these, but titles. Roll a d200.
Fancy.
This one is long.
195.
And be very glad that we are not in any way monetized, because, oh boy.
Read it
No.
out, RL.
The Vault in Our Stars, an Illithid's Guide to the Treasures of the Far Realms.
Yes.
Yes!
Okay, no, I need to roll this one too. Okay, like
Yeah, I
Go for it.
puts down the shark book. Like, what did you just say?
183. Alright. Calda, you come across The Lion, the Witch, and the Warforged.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, I love that one.
oh, so does Rose.
43. We're going on an owlbear hunt.
No, why would you do that? No.
It
Hold on.
looks like it's more of a child's book, that one in particular.
Have we ever fought an owlbear? I can't remember.
I don't believe you have.
Not us specifically, no.
Turns to Alsana like,
Make friends with them.
fuck's an
Elaris,
owlbear?
if you want to join the fun,
Yeah. Sure.
go ahead. Roll a
D100?
D1, D200. Type it in.
D200.
Yeah, it's a long list.
Oh, sorry. There we go.
141. All right, Elaris, you kind of reach in, kind of to the middle of the stack, pull one out, and journey to the center of the Underdark. It's an adventure story.
Oh, that's what I found out about Deep Growth.
Ooh. Yeah.
I got one more of these. I'm sorry.
As a bonus, Alaris, I'm just gonna say the next one on the list. As a bonus, Alaris, when you pull that one out, you dislodge another one, and it's called Lothlita. Lothlita.
No.
Ah,
You quickly push
Ah.
that one back underneath.
That
no,
one can burn.
he's gonna just like throw it on the ground. It's just, anyone want to burn this one?
Let's not do that.
We do not
You
burn
sure?
books in
That sounds-
here! From the far corner. We donate
I don't
them!
think burning books is ethical.
I would
Probably
very
not.
much agree.
It's efficient though.
Conrad, do you want to re-roll that? You did do 2d100.
Yep.
Or do
but
you want to keep the 57?
Yep.
Keep the 57, okay.
Just my keyboard is really hard to reach sometimes. So
Fair.
Mm.
Oh no! Kane, you find Kiss the Girls, a traveler's guide to succubi.
Ken puts it in his bag.
Oh,
There's a sticker on the corner that promises a fold-out center insert.
Alsana looks
Put
over.
it in the bag.
Alsana looks over.
Not a word.
No, we both know where that's from.
Do we?
That was in Father's bookcase.
Oh god, I never even bothered to look in that thing.
Calda, you actually find the fold-out insert having come loose and gotten lost in the middle of the...
Oh, come on!
It's actually more of a chart of identification and preventative measures than anything that you might expect from a pull-down insert from a book with that title.
Alrighty, so it says here on this little quiz.
They knew what they were doing, and she just rolls it up. There was in the bag.
Hey, no, hold on. He pulls back out of the bag, takes a look. Okay, good. That way,
You
if
take the quiz now.
I start dreaming about these things, then at least I know how to kill it.
Calder, you find The Drapes of Wrath, a guide to identifying and destroying animated objects.
I've seen that one before. Oh, I love it.
Alright.
I need to do one more. Sorry, these are too fucking good.
Okay, one more each, and then we're moving on.
I need to get above 100.
Alright, 146 for Alsana. Oh no. You find
Say it.
Mar E. Rotter and the Sorcerer's Bones. A jaded druid seeks the remains of a powerful sorcerer to bring about the end of the world.
Damn.
She just looks at it for a sec. Yep, and puts it in the pile.
Kane, 98. Buddy Folio, a magical tome which tells you who your true friends are so that you might rule them out as possible enemies.
He just takes one look at this and just hands it to Asana.
The magic is kind of sputtery at the best of
Okay.
times.
I think I've heard of this guy. Something Lightwell? I think it's the author's name?
Never heard of him.
Yeah, apparently he's lame.
Never heard of
Sir
him.
Ashton, I've heard of him too.
Yeah, something like that.
The thing about the first page is that apparently in order to use Buddy Folio, all of your friends have to set up little profiles on certain pages for you to reference.
She looks at it like just like this is horribly designed magically.
Is it filled out?
There's
No.
some old stuff that's deactivated and the ink has faded away, but some things
The
look
magic
stuffed.
ink in the pages is well worn out. It's not going to hold a magical charge whatsoever.
I mean, if we really need to intimidate someone into telling us the truth, though, I mean, I feel like there's a creative way we could use this.
She just puts it on the pile. What do you have called it?
Calder finds A Handmaid's Tale, that's Tail, a collection of short stories by notable tieflings.
Intriguing. I think I'm gonna put it back though. And just boop on the pile.
Well,
Should we get back to those corpses? You have
yes.
those incense that make stuff smell good.
Yes, also we should rest soon.
I'll stick around, you guys. Just keep it in range.
So, Sana will finish tending to the corpses.
Okay.
Calder will help.
Alright, late in the evening, you've got a large enough pyre constructed. Threshold's a store of wood for building and repair and maintenance is notably depleted. They're going to have to ship in quite a bit from the shores in order to restock. But the work is done. The fire is lit. First on a larger pyre, which all of the Nightingale soldiers have been stacked onto. And then, separately, the one for the keepers. Though the Nightingale soldiers aren't shown disrespect, there is more of a crowd around the one for the keepers. There is more notable mourning there, as these were friends, loved ones, people they knew, people who fell in defense of their home.
Also, we'll try to give as helpful and supportive and stuff prayers during the burning.
Okay.
Call's gonna like try and make up a couple of her own prayers, but mostly just follow along with Alsana.
All right. Each of you can just for quality more than anything. It's not a success fail. Go ahead and roll a charisma check each. I know.
Guidance.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, you're fine.
I want a religion check.
If you don't have proficiency, actually it was just a charisma check. All right. I'll say that basically drawing on your knowledge of religion, you're able to give a very stirring eulogy. Calda comes up after and adds a few words of her own, which are perhaps a little less formal, but a lot more from the heart. A few other people stand and give brief speeches. You do see Philarion got up out of bed for this. He's looking alright. He is leaning a little bit on a cane, but he's upright. There's color in his cheeks. He's able to speech and then make his way slowly back inside with a few of the others. Kvirni kind of pacing along just beside him. With that, the funerary rites are done, and the fires are left to burn under supervision until they are ash. You all are given space to sleep, and you're able to take a rest.
Before they do, Alsana's just gonna look over to Alaris and goes, I'm gonna go say hi. Would you like to come along? Oh, it's John here.
John?
He's been dipping in and out, so I'm not sure he can hear us.
Yeah, it looks like he might be having some mic troubles.
Yeah.
Hello?
Oh.
He,
Yeah.
went out and there he
John.
is.
Sorry, I'm having audio issues.
Yeah. We figured.
Are you good now?
Yeah.
For now,
I
at
think I'm
least?
good.
Right.
Yeah.
Alsana will, like, as they're saying down to rest, like, tap Alaris on the shoulder. It's like, I'm going to give a visit. Would you like to come along?
Sure. I suppose.
And she'll sit down next to him, kind of cross her legs, close her eyes, and kind of take his hand.
Yep.
Pats at the dead.
Okay. At this point, there is no need to make a check, as Xanthus is actually waiting for you guys.
That can't be good.
Yeah.
He looks at you and... So, you dealt with the incursion upon Threshold.
Yes.
Was the large corpse we saw the dragon? Was that
And
what
he
was brought through?
nods. part of it. They forced their entire... well, the entire army that they sent through. But the dragon was the most galling.
Through here? She kind of like gestures around.
It should not have been possible. There are limits on teleportation. There are limits on how the planes work. He looks at the two of you. She is growing far too powerful. And far too daring.
She's nearly getting away with it. We're encroaching on the last of her direct hands on our side. We're intending to end that soon, but I know that won't be the end of her.
No. But if you handle the last of her pawns, then I'm sure she will find herself in dire straits soon after.
Be forced to move her queen.
Indeed.
What does that dire straits entail? Do you know?
What is that what?
What do those dire straits entail? Is she going to tear herself into our side?
I do not know. Before today, I would not have said that she could have pressed an entire force through the ethereal plane from one place in the material to another in an instant. But she has.
We're
Tearing her way through to the other side. I still would think that it would require access to a place where the veil was thin.
where we are now.
He nods. But again, she's already learning to break so many rules.
Where is she? Where does she reside right now? I know you wander these places.
Not here. She is tethered to the material plane, but
She has,
this material plane.
she has a material component to her.
She must. Or at least she did.
She should.
At a guess, they would not leave it unguarded. I would look to the heart of their power.
That would have to be the spine.
He nods.
And something I looked into. Do you remember every soul you ferried to the other side?
No. There are far too many, far too constantly. Even now, they are crossing the borders.
What about ones that are different?
It depends.
1,000 years ago. The Aelin Stormgust of this side. Is it true
The
that her
light behind the mask dims, as if the eyes are closing, and he tilts his head as if in thought.
is it true that her soul slipped through your fingers?
The eyes snap open, and he looks at you.
Ooh.
I do not recall, but I would say it is highly unlikely. Souls do not simply escape me.
Sorry, I didn't mean it in the way of you're failing. Just that something evaded the standard flow that you.
Evasion. Yes. Yes. There are always those who seek to evade or circumvent me. As if they can change the meaning of inevitable.
Asana will slip a hand into her bag and pull out York. I believe this was part of it.
He looks at the skull. The skull is silent. He looks at you. A vessel.
Nods. This used to belong to the one that, as of right now, I am believing is the catalyst that created that lady.
It may well be that she created a vessel and filled it, and thus was able to put me off. I am usually aware of such things, though. Are you certain that she used this vessel?
Not this one, but it was one she was intending to.
So
It
she
is-
had the knowledge and the means.
That's yes.
He looks towards Laris. If that is her, then it has become increasingly important that you put an end to her.
Absolutely.
Good. I will not suffer those who think that they are above and beyond the laws of the universe.
She's certainly proven herself as enough of a fool.
Yes.
Alaris here, he has the means to. You said before he could damage her. Is that specifically
Yeah.
her material component?
Believe, I'm not sure.
I believe that anything could damage a material component. I was rather planning for something more ethereal.
On a more on a more planar level.
Nods. Would she be on this level? At least the power.
She would not be within this plane. I would know. But there are other spaces, and the gaps between them.
Do you know which gap?
There is no which gap. The gaps are all-encompassing. It would be as if you asked me which bit of air a particular mote of dust was floating in.
And perhaps not. Then perhaps you would know which winds of which country that dust would float on. A direction.
There's. You are making a mistake in thinking that the planes and the void between them function in a way similar to your world, with an up, a down, an east, a west, and a north and south. There are no cardinal directions, there are no fixed points, there are no areas of reference. The Feywild may be above you, to your left and right, to your front and side. And at the same time, there is the Shadowfell there. And at the same time, there is the Ethereal.
Nods. But I know exactly where the portal from ours to the Feywild is. At least one of them. If she's affecting our side, there has to be some sort of method.
A vessel. It would be the simplest means. Otherwise, a
Then
follower such as Alaris, such as perhaps if she gained clerics or paladins, one of those.
Then, forgive the blunt question, how do we stop her? Do we end that being that is not on the material? Do we seal it? Do we sever her ties on to the material? Her old body? Kill her followers?
Her followers would be a start. If she has a vessel, that might be the end.
Would that not leave what's left free to go as it may?
I will see where Lars goes. I will be there. And perhaps then I will be able to follow that thread.
And give her the right hook you've been wanting to?
Possibly. Or, if it is more likely to succeed, throw her towards you for that right hook.
I think either sounds nice. Just be sure to give some godly inspiration to some artist somewhere so it can be a painting.
Eloris, how are you with a paintbrush? John is muted.
Not as good as I am with a crossbow, unfortunately.
Also, Alsana just like has a hand over her mouth, like wide open. Did you just make a joke?
I'm sure beings like him are
He just
capable of
stares at you
humor.
wordlessly.
I have been rubbing off on you.
Oh dear, that's no
John,
good.
you're touched quiet, by the way.
Oh, am I?
He's okay.
Yeah.
I told you conversation can go a long way.
He just turns towards Alaris. Is there anything else you needed?
You'll come
I
around.
really know.
In that case,
Yeah, all I needed was the direction of where to go next, and this served that purpose well.
I look forward to your further success. He snaps his fingers. The mists around you rush in, envelop you, and turn into the sensation of the blankets that you are wrapped in as you take a rest.
Alsana like rolls over in her bed. He told a joke.
Yeah.
Alsana, at a point in the middle of the night, your dreams shift. And you find yourself in a glade in the deep thicket. It is peaceful, summery, with low filtered light coming in from above, and you see the Chief Warden at the center of the glade, sitting with her back against the side of a magnificent white stag, its head curled around and resting in her lap as she strokes its muzzle with gnarled fingers. And she looks up at you as you appear in the dream.
Oh, you too.
Ah,
You're alright.
yes. I thought it best to check in with you.
Thank you.
I was told that you had to rush off.
Not.
Is all well?
There was a attack on Threshold. One of the Nightingales and an undead dragon.
Ah,
As
two
well
goals
as
at once, perhaps.
and a number of soldiers as well. Shoved through the ethereal. Instantly brought there.
Powerful magic. But you will be pleased, I'm sure, to know that Deep Thicket, though it has sustained some damage at the edges, is whole. Tanager as well.
Thank you.
It seems they were more interested in setting fires and causing chaos than a directed assault.
No one made it to the middle? To the,
No.
what we perceived as the goal?
No, no one did. I waited here. I called the rain, and the keepers routed those who had encroached.
Curiosity. There was a conversation I had before. What are you intending with the bodies of the attackers?
Well, we cannot account for all of them. I am quite assured that a number of the beasts of the forest, more inclined to eating meat, have taken meals. But those that we were able to collect, we will be burying, giving back to the forest.
That's good. From at least the some of the ones there, we thought too that'd be the best. It's the least they can do for the damage they've done.
Indeed. We will, however, be stripping them of their metal armor and weapons. Rust doesn't quite belong, I believe.
Of course.
Those things we will be giving to Tanager. However, if your friends would have any interest in any of this equipment, then for your aid, we would allow first choice. I don't believe there's anything especially intriguing or special about any of it, but
You didn't happen to come across any spell scrolls, did you?
no, nothing so particular, though there are a number of magical wands, staves, and crystals used as focuses.
Worth a shot. I suppose supplying Danica would be in good interest.
They simply have the sorts of people who would know what to do with the things, melt them down, make them into something new, sell them onwards.
Mhm.
We have relatively little use. We create our own supplies for the most part.
Right.
That being said, I believe a few daggers may have found their way into pockets. I wouldn't begrudge them that, though.
So everything's okay there for now.
So it seems. We are keeping up some vigilance, but
Of course.
there is an air of relaxation.
That's good. That's very good.
Tell your companions, and if you intend to collect any of the items or keep them for yourselves, We'll be taking them to Tanago in about a week.
All right.
You'll have time.
Yes. We are potentially planning a bit of a incursion against the perpetrators.
Good.
So some extra arms might go away.
In that case, for the trees and the beasts and the keepers who did fall this day, do them justice.
Gladly.
I leave you to your rest. With that, the
Good night,
dream
nurse.
fades away. And you fall back into your normal sleep. Everybody can take a long rest as you wake up uninterrupted at a normal hour the next morning, the 14th of Harvest Dawn.
How sore are we all?
Up to you. If you want to make a constitution check, you can. If you'd rather leave it to flavor, you can do that as well.
I have I have a curiosity for something specific for Alsana. Oh,
Want
okay.
to guess how many hit dice I have?
2.
You on the ball, buddy.
Ha.
And I don't get any of them back.
No?
I have to wait for the next long rest to get 7 back.
Yep.
And then another long rest to get the rest of them back.
That special ability does consume them on a slightly longer term for immediate benefit.
Honestly, I think it was worth it this time.
Mhm.
Considering it kept everyone alive.
Right.
Yeah.
Alsana has. Oh, good.
No, go for it.
As a constitution check, Alsana's arms have healed up because they were probably really wrecked after the huge sunburst last time.
Hmm.
Calder's back is a mess.
Kane just wakes up before he even moves, just hear, oh.
Calder gives an equal one just in return.
Yeah.
God, I really know how to punch like a motherfucker.
Alsana, do you have any remedies for this? I haven't felt my back this bad forever.
Well,
Hold on, roll over on your stomach.
I'm
Can-
going on my stomach.
Kane will just crawl over and do his best to give a bone crushing back massage.
Strength check.
Alsana will give it guidance and also just be like, no, don't, not on that vertebrae. Dear God, it's not on that vertebrae.
That's fine. I
Hit
think
every vertebrae, they all hurt.
hold on, I think it's out of alignment. You just hear 6 pops.
Every
Oh.
knot and every muscle back there, Kane finds and just basically leans on until it cries mercy and unravels.
Kane, you're beautiful. Now lay down. Now lay
No.
down. Your turn.
It won't work for me. Trust me, I've tried. Just
Yeah,
come
I
by.
want to try something.
Hold on.
Just
I want to try.
come by the water's edge while I jump in the cold. It'll help.
I have an alternative.
Let me step on your back.
Fine. Kane
Yes.
kneels, and as soon as he gets both feet on the back, he just stands up 90 degrees angled, and just starts walking
I
out.
was gonna
Ken,
Watch
I might
your
have.
stop.
Ken, I might have something.
Seriously though, I just want what?
Just here.
I
And
just want to go.
fine, do that first. And
Okay.
when the nights tighten with the cold water, when the knots tighten with all the cold water, you can come back.
I'm gonna hop off his back. Just want to get fucked up.
It worked in the swamp, and it's more my face that hurts. I need the swelling to go down.
And also puts her arms out. It's like, oh, they're healed, but that's new. And she just probably just as a thing progressively over the entire adventure, she's been getting new little marks on her arms, and now it's basically like a full spider web.
Yep.
Well then,
Gross. Hey, Alaris, wanna go for a swim?
I suppose.
Cool. He just picks up Alaris by the neck and puts him over his shoulder.
Ah!
Come
Oh,
up-
they're-
Come on with the
By
lamp.
the
but-
neck?
Like the neck of the collar. Sorry, the collar.
Yeah, because
I don't know how words work. It's fine.
Chokes and just put him in
Nape
the
is the
choke
neck
slam
like a
position and just choke slam him into the ocean.
Precisely. That's a lake. At least it's fresh water.
So
Yeah.
cold.
Yeah, that's the goal. To help us wake up. But he can't get out of it now, so let's go.
Oh, they're gonna be soaking wet after this, Hosanna.
Yeah.
Kane just like sprints out the door as he's like over the water. All his armor flashes off his body, and he lands.
And Alzana just like leans over to Calder. Yes, and when they come back and again the knots are extra tight, I'm going to be sticking needles in them.
I should set up some towels for them. No needles, no.
It's acupuncture.
And then
No, I'll just. Calder sets up some towels in the room for when they get back.
Mhm.
while Kane and Alaris are in the water, he goes, "And now, Alaris, you're gonna see why I'm a genius." And he pulls out the flame tongue sword and lights it, so they're in like a mini hot tub.
Yeah.
At that point,
Okay.
funny enough, you see Sigwald like poke his head in. Oh, sorry, occupied.
Oh.
We're in a
Backside.
lake, to be clear.
In the lake.
Occupied? You mean occupied?
Oh,
This is
I'll
the
find-
lake.
I'll find my own cove.
Another lake?
Just
This isn't a bathroom, this is a beach.
Uh-huh. I don't want to be a bother.
I'm telling you to be here. It's clearly not about
Oh.
to get the fuck here.
Wait a second. Why is there steam?
Because I'm a genius. Get over here.
Oh, that
Be
is a
careful
genius.
with that.
That is absolutely genius. I was actually going to do something similar, but with a cantrip.
Thank you. And Kane
Just,
just for whoever happens to join.
Yep.
Make sure
Eventually,
you're
we
regulating
get
the
a little-
heat, otherwise we're going to boil.
Well, I can just turn off the thing until the water dissipates, and if you spin around in a circle hard enough, all the hot water will leave. So, you've got a bathtub with like all the water, hot water's coming in on one end and all the cold is on the other end. Gotta just like mix it up.
This
Yep.
isn't a
What?
This is a bathtub.
At some point, your little cove attracts a small gathering of various people from either the Keepers or from the Resistance. They seem to be enjoying the relaxing warm water.
Yep, Kane's just smiling. He's like doing laps, like heating up in a circle as he goes around.
Mhm.
And he eventually comes out of the water with like feeling good. It's like, yeah, I just need to do some laps. I feel good now.
All right.
He's feeling good, and the armor flashes back onto his body, and like, God, that is the best thing I've ever been given as a gift. Sorry, Calda.
Wow.
It's true. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I have a new favorite child now. I'm sorry.
Completely understandable, but if it helps, I killed the last one.
No. Alsana help me with bodies.
I mean, it helps you carry them.
Congratulations,
you were looking at Papa.
Congratulations, you had all the like familial like love of a forklift.
Yep. Yeah, that's fair. And he just like, yeah, I've never been a favorite child before. It's okay not being it again.
Alsana wouldn't say it to you.
Mm.
She might say it to Alsana.
Just like sorry, what did you just say?
You like the gifts I've given you, right?
Of course. Why'd you ask?
Yeah, you're the favorite. Yeah, you're the favorite right now. Don't tell your brother.
She like blinks for a second. She's like, oh. Okay then.
It's a complete joke. I don't play actual favorites. I love both of you equally. You're both my children. Jeez.
Right, but.
And here we recognize that Alsana has also never been told the parents are proud of them.
Well, I'm
Yes.
proud of you. I love you. You're like you are a daughter to me. Jeez.
Uh-huh.
Colin's gonna
Right.
try and insight this.
There's a blue screen.
Insight 17.
Yeah, she's just thinking like, oh, she could be the favorite. That's new. She
Oh,
could
have you
she
never?
could be cared about. That's new.
Oh dear, come here. I love you so much.
What is this? What is this?
biggest mom hug. I'm so proud
I'm
of
so
everything
confused.
you do.
Roll for hug.
Oh, okay.
In the background, Kane is diving headfirst into Lakes'
I'm very
Alsana,
confused.
it is the sweetest hug. You were pulled down into it,
Yeah,
and you
and
were held
Oh.
so tight and firm.
and she's just like, I don't. And she
You are
starts
my
crying.
lovely oldest. You are my lovely eldest daughter. Oh, oh, dear, don't cry.
She's like, it's not full on ugly crying, but it's just like that's very sad crying.
I love you both. I love you and Kane so much. You're both my children. Oh, jeez, I can't believe I
Don't
don't
mention
tell you
Kane,
guys
don't
this
ruin
enough.
it.
Okay. But you
I gave
treat
you a
my own children. You treat my own children like siblings. You're so sympathetic with everything and all. I'm just so proud of you.
Yep. It's like, damn it, I just did my makeup.
I'll help you fix it. No worries.
She looks
I
like
just
a
love you so
mess.
much. And
Ask.
Alsana, darling, dear, just know that I love you so much, and if you don't see me as a mom, that's fine. I don't mind. Just know I definitely do see you as a daughter.
And she like wipes her
And
face and it's just like smears up the side. It's like, I am.
it's a complete pleasure to know you. And
I'll be honest. I don't know what I think you are. Because I have nothing to compare it to exactly. So I guess I'll be figuring that out in the next little while.
cuddle like cups her cheeks. Just go. You take your time and know you're always welcome back home in Ambarian after all this.
Mhm. Even if I
And I'm always
teach your daughter magic.
You can teach Rose all the magic you want. And you can even teach Tierna a little bit too. Osborne, I think, a little bit set in his ways.
Okay.
And just know that even if there are times if I'm mad at you or anything, it's never for forever. And the main thing always is just some deep motherly love. Okay?
Okay.
We're gonna get through this. You're so amazing.
I am not going to let you die, and I'm so sorry if you come back much taller.
Hey, then maybe I'll look like a mom to you. I don't know.
She like shakes her head. It's like, I don't. We'll see.
Oh, and if God's forbid you leave me, I will do all that is holy and whatever's still in me and whatever you've taught me to bring you right back.
Oh, quite frankly, I probably
All
haunt
right.
you one way or the other.
Yeah, you can haunt. Yeah, it's not haunting. It's spending time with a mom.
Yes, but I talk to a god of death on the regular. I have had a ghost literally in the back of my head.
Yeah, but I'm gonna bring you back. I'm gonna bring you back to life.
Yeah, I'm just saying, don't be surprised if I'm hanging around a bit more non-subtly than others.
It's fine. I should really tell your brother I love him more too. Jeez.
I'll leave that one to you. I'm still figuring that one
I
out.
know, I'm just like just pinches her cheeks gently, just like I'm so proud of you.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
You need to
We
fix
have
that
things.
mascara.
We have things to do.
Oh, we do.
That too. Yes. She just goes,
First, makeup and breakfast.
sounds good. And at some point, she looks out the window, sees Kane like doing the hot tub thing. It's like, well, guess we won't need these. Then rolls back up the needles. Acupuncture.
I do sometimes have a bad knot in my back. If it gets bad, I'll let you know.
And she just looks over and like, right, but I also just think it was beaten into submission the last hour.
Oh yeah, give it like a year,
Gotcha.
or next time we fight something.
Yes, preventative is usually better. Right. Alsana will also go and help with breakfast if she can.
All right, you certainly can. So, between one thing and another, you guys pass the morning. About midday, just a little before. Myra actually comes up and let's see, who does she first find? She first finds Alaris again.
Yes.
So,
Back off, he's married.
yeah, I don't think you have to go there. Um,
Yeah, no.
So, Myra comes up, and if you have a moment,
Sure.
just words to pass along to the others.
Okay.
I was able to briefly get in contact with Celeste,
Right.
and she is open to the suggestion of creating a way in via scrying near a tree. Her only caution is that she would have to ascribe the day and time, and it would have to be natural and, let's say, fluid. She can't be seen going out of her way to a place for no good reason. That being said, we might not be able to say to her, this day, this time, be near a tree. It may instead be a situation where she contacts us and says, now is the time. Now, because we don't know exactly when that would be, to that end, I've already spoken with Dren. We do need to head back to our base. Probably within the day. However, given your character, and given that you have already well proven yourself to be enemies of the Nightingales and therefore allies of our cause, we would open the invitation to you and your allies to come with us.
Huh.
Speak with the others,
Okay.
and give one of us your answer. Shall we say before mid-afternoon? We're planning on heading out about then.
Mm. Okay.
Fun.
And he'll relay that information to the rest of the party.
I assume there's like a proper like gathering around and just.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
Yes, that's. I was going to honestly ask if we could visit wherever they were hiding out at some point.
Do you think there'd be
Yeah.
like a tree nearby, maybe that we could like in their
Ram through?
area? Do we know where they're located?
No, but I
Not
think we're
really,
about to.
no.
I also think they
Yeah.
might be able to bring us along themselves.
Oh, I know, but like if we need to go up and like if
I'll
an
go look.
Umbarian situation happens.
I'll go looking for a tree. At
Oh,
worst,
you
I
smart.
could put one there.
Could you make it grow that fast?
Yes. Once only.
Is that the
I wouldn't
seed
be
we
opposed
have
to
that
it.
just grows a big ass tree?
Yep, Quail's Feather token tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been saving it for a escape. Because it's literally, hey, there's a tree.
Maybe we should save that for like if we're in the Nightingale stuff and we
Oh,
go, oh
yes,
shit.
I purely was, but I mean, it wouldn't be a bad use either.
Okay. You are right.
Still,
Why don't we ask them if there's a tree and then be like, oh, we'll go.
let's go find them, and we'll go track down.
You could
Basically
roll
anyone.
a d. You could roll a d4, see which one you come across first.
Sure.
Sigwald, Sigwald, Sigwald.
It is Sigwald. Number
Hey.
3 with Sigwald. All right. So you see him from the back, crossbow and bolts strapped across the back of his leather armor, and he turns and hears you approach. And hi.
Sigwald, I promise it's pure professional.
All right.
You lot are heading out soon?
Yep, we are. So have you decided, or?
We think it would be best if we came along.
All right, great. Well, professionally great.
Yes.
That'll be actually a lot of help. Um, so come on. I was just going to meet up with the others, so yeah, Dren will want to know. Oh, is there anything you guys need to get done here first? Because
There was, well, there was an offer, but that can be once everyone is there. Looks like group. Is there anything else we need to finish up here?
Okay.
you guys could have like an hour, or if you're ready to go, we could just gather up and say, "Hey, everybody's here. We're ready. Let's go."
What about the bodies in Deep Thicket? Weren't we going to figure that out?
Oh, hey, I thought that was. I got a message from the warden. Everything's okay there.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Is everything being taken care of there?
Yes, there was some loss, but it's mainly just the edges. And the bodies of both are being returned to the forest.
Okay, good. Then that's, yeah,
And
that's taken care of.
furthermore, just because it's on topic, the supplies they reclaim from the Nightingale forces are open for our taking.
You
If
see
we need them.
Sigwald stop mid-step. Supplies.
Nods.
Where would these supplies be?
Deep thicket.
Lots of
Weapons,
wood.
armor, bits of
Look at
metal,
that.
spellcasting focus.
Is there any chance that
We were
Like-
given first pick.
all right, is there any chance you'd be willing to make a donation to the cause?
She smiles and goes, they want a bit of a returning kind against the Nightingales, if you catch my drift. I think
we
they'd
can
be
do
more
that.
than okay with that.
Oh, we can do that.
Again, let's go find the others.
Oh, this is good news. We're gonna really like having you along. He leads the way down the halls. Not too long later, you come across Dren, Myra, Lily, a few others. And Sigwald comes over. Great news! They know how to potentially get us weapons, armor, spellcasting focuses, who knows what else. And Dren looks over. Really?
They would be repurposed if you were okay with perhaps what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word. If you're perhaps okay with borrowing them off of the dead soldiers currently over in Deep Thicket, that Nightingale soldiers that tried to burn the forest down.
Before we get there, what kind of weapons and armor do you all prefer?
Whatever we can get our hands on, mostly.
Large, small, skilled use, unskilled?
Simple use. Not all of us are trained. We brought the best we could on this, but
How many?
there are others. Farmers. Tradespeople.
Roughly how many people do you have?
All told, at the base, perhaps 100. But not all of those are fighters.
That's okay. I mean, making a spear is simple enough.
Other
Oh.
thing.
Mm.
How are you intending to get us to your base? I assume you have some sort of magic on your own to bring us all.
Myra holds up a hand. I have my
Teleportation?
ways.
Magic circle?
Oh, pretty immediately, yes.
Nods. And it's like, alright, if you'd like, I believe it would be okay, if as long as you're under our jurisdiction, we could bring you to Deep Thicket.
Well, I suppose a quick stop to pick up the supplies wouldn't be out of the question.
And you can have a more direct line.
They look to each other and give a nod. All right. What do you need to do this? We've got the space here to draw a
Oh,
circle.
hello.
Oh.
Yep. It goes, I can bring us to Deep Thicket. And you could bring
Yeah.
us from, and then you lot could bring us from Deep Thicket to where you would like, where your base is.
I think that we could do this.
All right.
If you all are willing to carry things, I actually have some spare equipment that you could use as well. A good amount, actually.
Frankly, we could just store everything in your bag.
Yeah, I'm just, I keep a better mental list of what I have, and I theoretically could equip a small army.
Well, we can pull inventory later. But
Yes.
also, I don't think a meeting between you lot and Deep Thicket would be amiss.
No, I definitely encourage it. I just mean in case you need to bring foodstuffs too.
Well,
Loaded space and all.
then I suppose I will be bringing each of you along first. Is there anything you all need to have last minute here?
No, I think we're pretty much ready to go. We've already said our goodbyes to the keepers, and we're ready to be on our way.
Right. We'll be head towards, and she'll direct them towards the tree they probably usually use in the courtyard.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We'll be with you in just a moment. We'll go let everyone know we're leaving as well.
All right. They head out towards the tree. It's a little singed, but still standing, still usable.
Alsana will go find Valarian.
Valarian is looking much better. He's sitting upright. He's at a desk. He's working on a few things, but the load doesn't look quite as heavy as the last time you saw him. He's perhaps taking it easy still, just because it's only the next day.
Yep, easing back in. That's good.
Ah, yes, thought it wisest. Also staying close to Kvirini.
We are heading out.
Oh, so soon.
Nuts. We're working on a. Well, Deep Thicket has sent word that everything's okay there. There were some losses, but outside of these damage on the edges of the forest, everything else is okay. There were some losses, but they fought off the Nightingales. And they find themselves with a large amount of metal they're not too keen on burying. So, we're intending to head over there with the Dawnbreakers. Bring along those supplies, and perhaps plan an assault on the Dragonspine.
Well, I wish you all the luck in the world, and all the favor of every good god there is.
At a better time, I would have asked if there was anyone who wanted to join in on that, but
At a better time, there might have been someone to send. As it is, I'm recalling everybody I possibly can to help bolster our defenses here.
That's fair. We have it on good authority that. I mean, it was obvious that this is the last line to defend. But not just the mortals we're going against, but the one they serve. She brought those forces the other day through the ethereal. She's breaking the laws of the planes.
Ah, that's... well, not good as an understatement.
Nods. So, not only them, but she herself might be wanting to set eyes here more immediate.
I want to ask if you know how frequent this would be, but I also realize that it's a silly question.
We're aiming on ending the last two of her highest followers. I don't know if she has any more among the ranks, but those 4 are the most powerful. Those 4 are what we were sent here for.
Well,
Unfortunately, though, they seem to be a symptom, not the
Hmm.
cause.
that is unfortunate. But you were brought here because it was expected if anyone could do it, it would be you. Well, God's grant you speed. And I wish you well. Hope to hear from you in victory.
You as well.
Oh, incidentally, before you leave, do you still need that agent in the Shining Citadel, or can I recall her?
Do you still have word with her?
Last I had word with her was instructing her to wait for you.
Nods. Can you get word to her?
Of course. It might take a little time, but yes.
Here, I'll actually. And Alsana's going to compose a message very quickly.
Okay.
And she basically wants to compose a message to that informant to go find that guard captain.
Ah, all right.
And basically say, thank you for everything. We were successful. We want to be in contact further.
Okay. Noted.
I-
Solarian looks it over and gives a nod, and further contacts. Very good.
We, if we're careful, might have the queen on our side.
In that case, perhaps I'll keep her in the Citadel rather than recalling her.
Nods.
Thank you.
Thank you for the reminder. Things got hectic. Well then, that's very good to know. Oh, these ducks are getting in line. Alright. We'll be off. Gods grant you a swift riding hand.
I fear it's not swiftness, but rather longevity that I'm worried about.
Well, with that realignment, you should have at least a few more years on you. She says with a grin and turns out the door.
All right.
I love that
Oh.
we had 2 spinal realignments in this session. One was done with great care and medicine. One king was like, I'm gonna make Calder not be sore for if anything gets in the fucking way, I'll push through it.
Yep. That's about the scale of things.
It's dispelling magic versus punching through the magic.
All right.
Just
Do
no
any
matter
of the
what
do any
concentration.
of the rest of you have anything to do?
Say
Before
bye
leaving.
to Conferini.
Not really.
Give her a little bit.
All right. I'll say you went in with Alsana, and as Alsana talked to Filarion, Verani is actually laying on the bed, full out, just stretched across it. Just kind of keeping an eye out, and you're able to go over and give her some scritches on the scales and rubs on the top of the nose. And
You be good to Falarion for us. Miss you too, Conferini.
A hand goes on the belly and the dragon just claws and teeth.
You eat all that fish stew like a good little dragon.
And if there's any shark left, that's really good for you.
Rewind the clock to the conversation Alessandro was having. He's like, I'm trying to have a conversation, but that is way too cute and distracting.
Maybe if they let you in the water, you can get a shark or two.
Small shark.
Baby
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Baby shark.
Yes, Kavirani is very cute and
Stop.
possibly take some of your words to heart.
Small shark. Let me reiterate.
Baby shark.
Alright,
All right.
we'll head back.
You gather up at the tree. Alsana, you have your spell.
Mm.
You open the gate, and one by one, you spill through into the shadowed wood of Deep Thicket. And that is where we're going to go ahead and leave the session for today.
Oh boy. Well then, Until next time.
Till
Until
next time.
next time.
See ya.